longest time, coming to Tokyo Disney in the summer was a big no-no, especially the summer holidays, because it's absolutely rammed full of people and it's really, really hot and humid. But these days, is that still the case? We're gonna find out today. So my first trip to Tokyo Disney, long before I moved here in 2019, I came in 2017 in the middle of the summer holidays, because for people like me and my family who work in a school, the summer holidays is a great time to go abroad. You know, you get a lot of time off, and for some people, they can't adjust their time off. I knew it was going to be really busy, but my word, I was not expecting it to be as busy as it was. It was really hard to have a good time, actually. We ended up queuing like an hour just to get a drink. It was that bad. But since COVID, they really don't do these big summer events anymore. And it has been getting hotter and hotter as well. And the general consensus seems to be shifting away from the idea that Tokyo Disney is somewhere that you go in the summer. Now, don't get me wrong, there are still plenty of big queues. The Frozen ride is a 2-hour wait right now. That will come down later on, I'm sure. But yeah, summer just isn't the big no-no that it used to be. So I want to take you through my summer day here and see what you can expect to get done. The date today is July 24th, so we're not in the Obon week in the middle of August, which is typically when it would get really busy, although I was here in that week last year and it really wasn't that bad. Honestly, compared to Christmas, Halloween, March, when the schools break up here, summer has become, crowd-wise, quite a pleasant time to come. However, it is very, very hot, and I don't want to patronize people by telling you what hot means and how to stay cool, but you may be interested to know my little setup. So I've got the cap on my head, I have a little portable fan. My general rule for coming to the parks in the summer is don't try to look nice, just try to stay cool, you know? So I have this that you can put around your neck, and it just blasts wind in your face all day, which is wonderful. And I have a cooling towel. This one's from the parks, but you can buy them from loads of the little stores here, and I'm sure you can get them online wherever you are as well. You just put it under some water. The water fountains here tend to be pretty cold, so you just soak it up with water, rinse it out, put it around your neck. I like to wear it on my head as a little bandana, and that's a great way to stay cool as well. But you probably don't come here for tips on how to stay cool in hot weather. You're coming here to see the park. So I arrived at 10 a.m. today, which, you know, everyone will tell you, myself included, if you're here for 1 day or even 2 days, come as early as you possibly can to try and make the most of your day. It's the case here more than it is anywhere else because everyone gets here super early. So you want to try and beat those crowds, you know, and get to the big rides. It also means you can get queue skipping passes. There's paid ones and free ones. I've done videos talking all about those in the past. But yeah, getting here early is generally the way to do it. However, I live here. I don't have to get on every ride in a day every time I come. So personally, I love arriving around 10. You don't want to get here much earlier than that, because if you get here at like 9:30, you can end up at the back of those huge crowds and they're still slowly moving into the park. You know, in the heat, you don't want to start your day standing out in the sun, getting dripping with sweat before you've even got in the park. So you either want to get here really early or just, if you're not that bothered, get here after all the crowds. 9:30 at the earliest, but yeah, I like 10. 10's normally a really nice time to arrive. So yeah, to my point, there used to be, when I came here in 2017, my first trip to Tokyo ever, there was an enormous Pirates of the Caribbean show here where you had Captain Barbossa and Jack Sparrow on their own 2 ships fighting, and there was fire and there's loads of performers all around the bay. Right now we have these fountains spraying water. Now this year they have added a new show, but it's over another part of the park instead of being here where more people can see it, which feels a bit silly, but whatever. And there's another brand new show, Dreams Take Flight, in the hangar stage, which has been empty for 5 years, so it's super cool that there's something there. Like I said, I got here pretty late, so I tried to do the lotteries. I failed. I mean, even if you get here early, it's a lottery system. It's not first come, first serve, so there's a good chance you're not going to get in them anyway. However, if you get here earlier, you can pay to get into those shows. So if that's something you care about, again, you want to get here earlier on. So let's take a look around center of the earth. I can't be the only person having this idea. I'm sure there are other people waiting around, and or some very tired cast members trying to tell everyone to go away. We'll see which one it is. And we're moving in now, we're going in now. That was incredibly lucky. I don't know if you can try to replicate that on any other day, but you know, it's always a gamble, right? Hanging around a ride when it's closed, you never know if you're gonna be waiting around for hours or minutes, but wow, this one really paid off. This should be like an hour and a half queue at this point, so yeah, very happy with this. Nice one. Oh, I've never done this before. We're not walking around anything. We're just walking straight into the elevators. Just straight in, turning around immediately and going into the lifts like you would if you paid to skip the queue. We're just walking right next to that line. I love this place. This is amazing. It's really like we've paid to skip the queue. I'm just walking straight into this thing. Let's go. Best ride in the world. Oh, that's worth the price of admission alone, that is. What a way to kick off the day. My goodness. I could just go home right now and I'd be happy. Ridiculous. Oh, I like these misters that they turn on. Themed misters. Theme parks need more of those. Oh, that was a lovely bit of good luck, wasn't it? Well, I mean, good luck, and you know, I'll take a bit of credit. Like, I knew that it tends to open around 10:30 on these hot summer days. And we waited around there, didn't we? But, whew. Okay. So Peter Pan's Neverland Adventure is currently a 40-minute wait. That sounds quite nice. I've just kicked off the day with one of my favorite, well, with like the best ride in the world. Oh, I know what we'll do. We'll go and see Chandu. I'm rocking the t-shirt. You can find this in the link in the description. It even has a little tail on the back. I don't know if you can see that, but it's flipping adorable. The best thing about wearing this t-shirt, and I can say this because I wear it most of the times I come here, and I get compliments from the cast members all day saying that it's super cute, and then you turn around and you show them the tail and they start clapping with glee, as they should, because it's a wonderful design that I'm very, very proud of. But yeah, let's go see your boy Chandu. It's a great breakup when you're on your way to something in Fantasy Springs. Just sit inside in the air conditioning on one of the best rides in the world, listening to Alan Menken's greatest piece of music he's ever written. Yes, I said it. Compass of Your Heart is well up the list. Yeah, and I can sit down in there. You know, Sinbad used to be in the far corner of the park. It was like you had to really drag yourself all the way over there just to do Sinbad. Whereas now it's like almost a halfway point because there's all that Fantasy Springs stuff back there. God, this park is a weird shape now. So you may remember I said at the start of the video that when I came here in 2017, we had to queue an hour just to get a bottle of water. And I'm so glad that now we have these beautifully well-themed. The one in Fantasy Springs is ridiculous. It's just gorgeous. These really nicely themed vending machines all over the park. And they make it so much easier. You can just walk up and grab a drink anytime you want. Yes, it's far less crowded than it was back then anyway, but I've been here on the super busy days and the vending machines are a lifesaver, maybe literally in the heat. And yeah, they have some other nice little bits as well. They have little misters and things that we've seen around the park. Oh, the steamer's coming through. This park is ridiculous. Yeah. It's so hard to hold a camera in this place because there's just constantly stuff that you want to look at and I want to show you everywhere, all over the place. You know, I sometimes think, am I really going to be able to have a YouTube channel just about Tokyo Disney forever? Like, maybe I'm going to need to start talking about other things. And then I come here and it's like, oh, I could make 500 videos just talking about this place, let alone coming here and vlogging and sharing my days with you. If you do enjoy these kinds of videos, I do more like deep dives into the parks as well as these vlogs. And yeah, if you like this stuff, please do subscribe. I've just got over 5,000 subscribers. I'm enormously happy with that. Let's go for 10. My God. 10,000 would be a dream come true. That's like a proper YouTube channel. That's like real stuff, you know? Anyway, I'm so grateful to all 5,117 of you, or whatever it is right now. Thank you so much for that. If you really want to support the channel as well, you can do that in the Patreon. An enormous thank you to all of you. I also offer a service there, and we have some vacancies right now where you can chat with me, DM me anytime you want, go through all of your trip planning, so that you can come here completely stress-free and we can sort out together what the best trip is for you. Because it's really hard to give like broad tips, you know, everyone has different things that they want to do in the parks. So yeah, if that sounds like something that would appeal to you, check out the Patreon. Thank you again for all of that. So as the parks obviously do want people to come here during the hot summer months, they've made a few little changes this year which are quite welcome. One of them is that there are a lot of these little cooling spots in the park where they can give you ice cold water for your cooling towels, and also for if you buy like a fan, you know, like the spray bottle mister things that you can spray yourselves with. And there we go. Now I have, ooh, yes. Some ice cold cooling towel action. Very, very nice. There we go. Yeah, you can just stick it around your neck, which is quite nice. It keeps your neck in the, you know, out of the sun as well. Or also I like to, as I said, wrap it up like a bandana and put it under my cap like this. I just put my hat on the top, mainly because I don't have a bag and I don't want to put my hat, just carry my hat in my hand, right? But yeah, what I find nice about this is the knot on the back, like sort of drips down the back of your neck, which is where you get really hot as well. Another thing they've done during the summer is added these temporary vending machines, which, I mean, in any other theme park in the world, you'd say, oh, those are really well themed. These are like the crappy, quick ones that they've rolled out. The well themed ones are ridiculous. Oh, look at this. I haven't seen this actually. Try the drinks from this magical box. Isn't that fun? I think DisneySea just set this level of storytelling, which demands so much lore out of everything. And with the Fantasy Springs Hotel, that ended up being a bit of a bad thing, because they were like, well, we need to build a hotel in the park. It doesn't make any sense, so let's write a ridiculous story, which I've talked about in the past. I'm not going to go on about it now. But it does mean these little additions they make, like vending machines and things that in other parks they could just slap in. They put a lot of effort into these things to maintain this ridiculously high level of theming, quality, and storytelling that you see in this park. It really is unmatched. It's absolutely ridiculous. Oh, one little note regarding the cooling things. Like I said earlier, the water fountains, like the drinking fountains, they tend to be very, very cold anyway. It's almost like exactly the same temperature. And you do have the benefit with those that you can do it yourself. You can spend a long time kind of soaking it. They just gave me like a little cup of water and kind of poured it on the top. To be perfectly honest, I'm only using this to show you. It's mostly dry because it doesn't really work that great the way they do it. Anyway, let's go see your boy, Chandu. Another big tip I have here is to always ask for the front row. You may as well. It often gives you the best view on the ride, unsurprisingly, right? But especially Journey and Frozen. And I mean, Sinbad, why not? I mean, you get a good view from most of the boat, but it's nice to be right at the front, isn't it? Ta-da! Let's go. It's always a good day when you get to see Chandu and listen to Compass of Your Heart, is it not? Oh, I love this part as well. I love that you've just done this amazing ride and then you walk out the exit and it's like, oh, you're still at DisneySea. Just done two of the best rides in the world, bar none. And they're so different, you know. That's what's so great about this place now, is that Journey's amazing, Sinbad's amazing, and we're about to do Peter Pan, which is also amazing. And they're all great in such different ways. You know, I know a lot of people are disappointed that Peter Pan's Neverland Adventure is like all screens. It's like there's really not much else there. But it's very, very good at that. And the fact that it opened alongside 3 other rides that do all have physical sets and animatronics and things, I think it adds to the park's lineup, you know? It adds something else that the park doesn't have, and that's a good thing. This is really nice because when Fantasy Springs opened last summer, this was all crowds of people having to wait for their standby entry time to scan their ticket to get in. So it was chaos around here. But this summer, we have the misters going and you can just walk right through. And it looks really cool. Check this out. Doesn't that add so much atmosphere to it? Like this magical, mystical shroud. I wonder how it looks at night. I bet it looks really nice at nighttime. My goodness, I'm shiny, aren't I? Yeah, like I said, it is damn hot. You do have to be careful. If you're thinking, wow, it looks like Jordan's having a great day. I am, but I'm also somewhat used to this temperature and very, very hot and sweaty, and you just can't see that on camera. Here is the most beautiful vending machine in the world. Look at this thing. Look at the water pouring down from the top into there. That's a vending machine. That's a vending machine. What's wrong with these people? Why would you put that much time and effort into a vending machine? Okay, Peter Pan's flight, let's rock. So what's pretty crazy with this, and like all of the rides in Fantasyland, except for Tinkerbell, I guess, is this whole area was probably the last ever thing designed by Imagineers for FastPass. This was all designed with free FastPass tickets in mind. We know that because there's a model and you can see on the entrance of this ride itself the words FastPass entrance. So we know that was the case. This queue is 30 minutes long. 30 minutes. It's very, very short, right? Very reasonable wait. But we're waiting outside the front of the entrance because there's just not enough space in the queue to hold all the people, because they assumed 2/3 or more of the people riding this thing would be wandering around outside the queue and then use their FastPass ticket to get into the thing. So, like I said, today is not a busy day at all. 30 minutes, very, very reasonable. When this thing's over an hour, the queue is way down there. And when Rapunzel's the same, that's also way down there. And the whole of Fantasy Springs, this beautiful new area they've built, just becomes overflow queue for the rides. Anyway, I'm very, very happy with a 30-minute wait for this. I really like this thing. Well worth a 30-minute wait, this ride. Got my glasses on and oh! Oh, what a great ride that is. I love it. I love how this park has that type of a ride, like a Spider-Man Transformers type of ride. I love that it's a family ride. And I love that it had a 30-minute wait. I love that DisneySea has a really high quality ride that, whether it's the throughput or whether it's just not as popular as the others, I'm not 100% sure. I think it's a little bit of both, to be perfectly honest. But it just doesn't have the kind of massive queue that Journey, Tower of Terror, Soaring, Frozen, Toy Story Mania even have most of the time here. It's exactly what this park needed, is a ride that families can enjoy, anybody can enjoy it, and yeah, that has great throughput and you can always get on it. I'm getting a little bit peckish, and we are here in Fantasy Springs. I think I may go and have a little box of nonsense at Lookout Cookout, or a Rapunzel burger, or both. We'll see. Never Arendelle Hall. It's a shame. It's beautiful inside that castle, but the food is just... it's the most expensive counter service food you can get here, and it's probably the worst. I think I still have a little bit of that old mindset, because for the first year or so when Fantasy Springs was opened, once you were in, you couldn't leave and come back in. So, and it was the brand new thing, right? So I just, whenever I was in here, I would spend like so much time in here and eat in here and everything. Maybe I don't want to eat, maybe I don't actually want to eat in here anymore. But even now, you know, it's just so far removed from everything else. Just the walk alone is like, ugh, do I really want to leave here? And then, because I want to do some more stuff over here. Do I really want to leave here and then come back all that way in the heat? I don't know. Okay, so I put a mobile order in at the Rapunzel restaurant, the Snuggly Duckling. It's really cute in there. I really like it in there. The burgers are weird, but kind of good. I went for the shrimp one, which I do prefer over the normal burger, but they're both fine. They're both a little bit weird and nice. I also got the caramel muffin because it's the best dessert, maybe in the bar, but definitely in Fantasy Springs. And I just love me some caramel, don't you? I did want to be inside, really, because it was cool. You know, I could sit and have a rest and have a cool down, which is definitely something I would recommend. But that's the other nice thing with this fan is not only can you stick it around your neck, you can put it on the table and fold it up, and you have a little fan, which makes a huge difference. And, you know, just sitting in the shade isn't going to hurt anyway. Every counter service restaurant has paper cups and water fountains, and you can... I was about to say you can walk into any of them and fill up a cup and have a drink anytime, but that's not entirely true because you can't do that here or at Lookout Cookout or in the Arendelle Banquet because you need to have a mobile order to use the Fantasy Springs restaurants. But every other counter service restaurant in DisneySea and Disneyland, you can walk straight in, get a cup of water, refill it a few times, you know, because there's water fountains all over the parks, which are great, but you know, it's not ideal pressing the button and getting these tiny little bits of water. Having a cup to drink from makes a huge difference. Another little hack that a friend of mine taught me is to turn one of these cups upside down. If you're a dipper like me, and I love to dip, not only do you need to ask for ketchup, the ketchup's free with your meal, but you have to ask for it. You can ask for more than one sachet as well. Sachet? Satchel? Sachet? What are they called? Anyway, you put it on the bottom of the upturned cup, and you can dip to your heart's content. So much better than putting ketchup all over your fries and it drizzles down into the cup and they get soggy at the bottom. No. Upturned paper cup, dip your fries the way the Lord intended. You might be curious about my shrimp burger. Let's take a little look. They do this weird, you know, like Disney has like, Tokyo Disney has like sausages with bones in them and they just defy, and boiled eggs where the yolk is the shape of Mickey. I don't know what they do to defy biology, but they do, and they do a little bit of that here as well, because the shrimp has a tail, but there's more than one shrimp in here, but there's only one tail. I don't know, but yeah, you can see there's a bit of sauce in there. The bun is like a little bit mochi, kind of like softer bread. Sounds silly, but if you like shrimp, you like seafood, this is a bit more refreshing than the normal burger. But the other one's all right as well. It's like beef and then spam, basically. But it's better than it sounds. And the drink that I got is Fanta Golden Cider. You might think, oh, that's an interesting flavor they have over in Japan. They don't have that where I'm from. This is not a Japan flavor. This is a Tokyo Disney flavor. You can only get this at Tokyo Disney Resort. It's the same with the green tea soda, which is really, really nice as well. So yeah, something to keep your eye out. So the caramel cupcake, I mean, it's Japan portions. It's not big, you know, but just, I love like a gooey middle, and that's what this has. The middle is just caramel goo. I really like it. Not pretty, but There's caramel whipped cream on the top as well. Get a little butter cookie. Yum. It's soft. It's gone stale, but that's fine. You know, I really like these. It's hard to find stuff that's like super sweet here, but this is a little bit of that. Okay, so while I was having my burger, I did actually manage to get a frozen DPA. I know I said that they'd already run out earlier, but there's something I kind of hesitate to share with people because I don't want them just staring at their phones all day when they're at the most beautiful theme park in the world. However, I will let you in on a little secret. Even after the DPAs have sold out, these are the paid queue skipping passes, you can keep scrolling down and refreshing the screen, and sometimes they come up. sometimes they don't. So that's why I hesitate to tell people about it, because I don't want people scrolling all day and then not even getting the thing. However, today's not super busy, so it makes it a little bit easier, and I was able to get one pretty quickly. So, rather than wait, it's 100 minutes now. Rather than wait that, I'll just get straight on to the Anna and Elsa's Frozen journey, because it's just unbelievably good, and you kind of have to do it. You have to. Okay, Tinkerbell's Busy Boogies is 25 minutes. Let's ride Tinkerbell while we wait for Frozen. The CM at the entrance is telling people, don't make a mistake, this is not the Peter Pan ride, that's over there. And I just love the idea that somebody thought this was the big Peter Pan ride, and then they waited like an hour to see a fairy ride with no fairies and just a big mouse at the end. Oh, that's so funny. I love that little ride, it's so silly. I get so many questions asking me, Jordan, do you really love the Tinkerbell ride that much? Or are you just being ridiculous because it's a fairy ride with no fairies made for children? And the answer to all of that is yes. It's just, it's like right in between. It does genuinely bring me joy, the fact that this ride is purely there to just whiz around and look at an animatronic mouse. Like, that's great, that's wonderful. And the amount of artistry that's been gone into the sets and everything is really, really nice. But at the same time, it is also hilarious that they made a fairy ride with no fairies in it. It's just, oh, I don't know, I love that thing. Anyway, what's even more funny is that I waited so much longer for that than I'm about to wait for Frozen Journey, which is not silly in the slightest. It is actually very, very sad and a little bit too serious, but it's very, very good. So, yeah, let's go do Frozen Journey. Well, there we go, we got to see Anna die, and then Anna die again in the Frozen ride. It's very, very good. I do have to say though, the further out we get, now that the hype's settled down and it's not the big new thing anymore, I said I preferred it over Beauty and the Beast before, and I'm not so sure that it has the same kind of staying power. I don't know, just that transformation scene in Beauty and the Beast is so, so good. And Frozen doesn't have anything that even touches that, really. And Beauty and the Beast feels so new and grand and like a different type of ride, whereas this, even though it has some fun tricks up its sleeves, I don't know, they're both fantastic. They're both very, very good. I'm very glad we've got both of them. While I was in the queue, you might be thinking, well, Johnny, you said you were skipping the queue. Well, I still had to wait like 20 minutes or so to get past the queue, which is pretty rare here. But that's what happened. Anyway, while I was waiting, I realized when I first got in today, I said, oh, I tried the show lotteries, but I didn't get any of them. And I just assumed, because there's the Big Band Beach show, which has been here for ages, and it's the COVID version still, yes, now. So I wasn't bothered about seeing that. But the other two are so new The other two started like a couple of weeks ago. One of them less than a week ago, actually, in the hangar stage. So I assumed that they would just sell out immediately, so I didn't even look at the paid option, the DPA for the shows. And then I just checked it while I was waiting for that, and I managed to get a DPA for the new show in the hangar stage, Dreams Take Flight. So that's quite nice. That's a really, really new show. And I thought I would have to wake up super early and wait outside the entrance and all that if I wanted to see it. But I didn't have to do any of that at all. So I'm very happy with that. So far, I've got to say, it's very hot. Like, today is a particularly hot day, even for the oppressively hot and humid summers here. But if you can just crack on, you know, if you make sure that you're hydrated and all that silly stuff, I don't want to insult you by telling you how to stay cool in hot weather. But if you do all of that stuff, take a lot of breaks and everything, you can have a pretty good day here in the summer. Like I said at the beginning, my opinion hasn't really changed throughout the day to day. Like, if you can come in April or January and you've checked the closure schedule and your favorite ride's not closed, that is probably a much better time to come, just because then you don't have to worry about, oh, are we going to be too hot? Are we going to be dripping all day? But if, like I said, if you work in a school, or if for whatever reason you just happen to be here in the summer and you're thinking, gosh, should I do a Disney day in the summer? Maybe you should. Maybe you should. I don't know. You're going to know how much the heat bothers you or not, right? I can't tell you if you're going to be okay in 35 degrees plus humidity all day. It is a busy day. You are, even if you try to be inside and things, you are outside in the sunlight a lot of the day. So you're going to be able to decide whether that's suitable for you or not. What I can tell you is that the crowds are really not that bad anymore. And summer used to be an absolute 100% do not come because the crowds are so awful. And it's just not like that anymore. Which gives me hopes for annual passes. I really want them to bring annual passes back, but we'll see. That's probably wishful thinking. So I'm thinking I have a priority pass for Indiana Jones later on, but Indiana Jones and Raging Spirits are the only rides at Tokyo Disney that have a single rider line. I am single today, I'm on my own, so I think I'll probably make use of those, why not? They're normally very, very short, so I'm sure today will be no exception. Raging Spirits will be the first one we get to, and then Indiana Jones after that. Yeah, it's hard to really recommend that one. I mean, it looks great. Look at the thing. There's water on fire. How do they do that? But the guy sitting next to me summed it up. We got to the end and he was like, oh, is that it? I was like, yeah, it is a bit like that. And you know, I say that about Journeys, the center of the earth, can leave you with a bit of a, oh, is that it feeling? But it's because it's like so good, you just want it to keep going. And the thrilling part is not as long as you might want it to be. Whereas Raging Spirits, the whole thing is the thrilling part. The whole thing is the coaster. And I'll tell you what it's great for. It's a really great my first loop. It was the first looping coaster that my daughter did, and I was so confident she would like it because it's super smooth, it's super tame, and it builds up to that loop and then it finishes. And she came off it and she was like, oh, was that it? That's great. Like, it was the opposite. It was a good version of, is that it? You know? With little kids, it's the good version of that. It's like, oh, is that it? I could do that. And it makes her feel really confident and really strong, right? So I think that's what you have to expect when you go on it. The trouble is, and this is the problem you see a lot here, is everything has that DisneySea packaging. So everything looks phenomenal. Everything looks like it should be an out-of-this-world best ride in the world, you know? And a lot of them are. A lot of them are, but not all of them. They can't all be winners. This next one is absolutely one of those, Indiana Jones. Like I said, I do have a fast pass for this from 8 o'clock. They don't do fast pass in Tokyo anymore, but they do still do fast passes, but they're not called fast passes. If you know, you know. But I have a free queue skipping pass, priority pass they're called, for Indiana Jones at 8 o'clock this evening. So it's kind of nice to just have that, because queues can close early here, so it's nice to just have something so I know I can definitely do something later on in the day. Having said that, it's not a busy day, and I expect I'll probably end the day in Fantasy Springs trying to get on Frozen one more time. We'll see how things go, but it's just nice to have that option. Anyway, I'm going to try it single rider now. Raging Spirits had a bit of a wait with single rider, but the throughput's not as good on that. The throughput's fantastic on this, so single rider's normally a pretty good bet for Indiana Jones. And it's a much better ride, so I end up doing it a lot more. So on both rides, you do have to ask about the single rider. There's not just a single rider line. You have to ask at the Fast Pass entrance, and then they'll let you go straight through, and then you have to tell someone again later on. It's not the best system, but the fact that you do have to ask, and it's not like a big sign like single rider line, does mean that less people use it, and the single rider queues are shorter, which isn't necessarily a good thing. One big problem with it is what I'm doing now is I'm waiting in the Fast Pass queue to get to the single rider bit, which is kind of annoying. This is really long, actually. You know what, this is too long, actually. I'm gonna come back to this later. I thought I'd just quickly get on it, but it's really long. I have that issue where, like, I've got a show coming up around here in like an hour and a half, but I don't particularly want to do stuff around here. I kind of want to make my way to the front of the park, but by the time I do that, my time for the show would be up. So, well, I might do Sea Rider. I was thinking I might do Sea Rider today. Haven't done it in ages. Let's see if the wait for that's not stupid. Well, here's another fun vending machine. This is the little corner of the park that the Frozen Land was supposed to go to before it evolved into Fantasy Springs. We were supposed to get an Alice in Wonderland ride in Tokyo Disneyland, and then get a big Frozen port in this whole corner over here, which would have fit in with the whole park way better than Fantasy Springs does, being so out of the way. But I can't be mad that we got 4 new rides instead of 1, you know? You know what, come to think of it, this ride has the same problem I just talked about with Raging Spirits and Tinkerbell as well. Because I've never really thought of it in this way before, but you go into the pre-show and there's like a person up on a stand telling you the safety spiel in person. There's this special effect in the pre-show. It sort of makes it seem like something pretty big and epic and cool, because it used to be. And then you go into like a cute little Nemo ride that has very low stakes and is just like, hey, look at the Nemo characters, isn't this fun? Okay, bye. There's a mismatch there, as there often is, you know, when you re-theme an existing ride into a new one. It used to be a much more thrilling sort of action ride, and they turned it into a Nemo ride because the park did admittedly need more for families. But now we have Fantasy Springs, we have lots of family stuff here, so maybe we can change it back. Or just kind of change the whole of Port Discovery to something new. Anyway, I'm a little peckish, and it's been absolutely ages since I've had one of the sushi rolls from here, which I think is like a shrimp and pork cutlet wrapped in a sushi, big long rice sushi thing. So I'm gonna have one of those, and I've never had a chilled creme brulee churro, and I absolutely love the fresh hot ones. So they sell those here as well. I'm gonna try one of those. There we go, 2 long one-hand snacks, they call them here, because as you can probably figure out, you can eat them with one hand. The sushi roll, they're both cold. They're both cold, which is obviously really nice for the hot summer here. The sushi roll they always sell, and it's always cold. The churro, I think they just sell a normal hot creme brulee churro here in the rest of the year. I'm not sure. I don't think they would be selling chilled ones. I know when I first got here, they used to sell orange, it was like orange sherbet churro, which was pretty good. It's a shame they don't do those anymore, but anyway, let's try these. You see what's going on here, a big long tonkatsu cutlet, pork and shrimp cutlet in the middle, and then rice with lots of sesame seeds and some other seeds around the sides. It's fine, to be honest. It's not the most delicious thing in the world. I don't think I would really recommend it. But it is nice to have something that's cold on a hot summer day like today. Mr. Incredible! Hey! So the Incredibles have been greeting here for a long time. Mum and Dad Incredible. Also Edna's here sometimes, which is fun. But because the new show started, and the new show just around the corner has Pocahontas and Merida in it, they've been greeting here as well recently, which is kind of sweet. It's nice to see some different characters. I'm really surprised with all the Pocahontas stuff lately. Like, there's an enormous bit of rock work in Fantasy Springs for Pocahontas. Now they've got Pocahontas in the new show, and she's greeting. Oh, and of course, Pocahontas is in the daytime parade at Tokyo Disneyland as well. So she's been everywhere recently. As has Coco and Moana and Up. And we saw Up in the artwork for what maybe, kind of, sort of, could be getting built in Tokyo Disneyland's Adventureland in 10 years. So but that does at least let us know that, like, Up's on their radar. The Incredibles were also in there, we think, so that's on the radar. It makes you wonder, you know. Coco would fit in perfectly here at DisneySea. Moana would need her own port, but, I mean, Moana, half of that movie is on the sea. This is DisneySea, you know, Moana would be a great fit for here. Pocahontas for Western Land? Who knows? I guess that was just fine, it was alright. Like I said, it's nice to have something cold in the summer. The snacks I would recommend over that would definitely be gyoza dog, the long naans, or the naan pizza bread thing that they have in Zambini's. That's a really nice little snack. The Yucatan dog in Lost River Delta, those are really good. But those things are all hot. So if you want to have like a cool snack, and you're just in this part of the park, like you don't have much choice. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great either. I mean, I know exactly what this is going to taste like. It's going to be a creme brulee churro, which I love, and it's going to be cold. And I'm probably going to say, I mean, it's great, but I prefer a hot one. It's great, but I prefer a hot one. No, it's not as much of a downgrade as I expected. I don't know if that's a compliment or not, but I really, really like the creme brulee churros, and this is not bad. But yeah, get a fresh one. Even if it's hot, go and sit inside in the aircon with a fresh hot one instead of this. It's really like they just, and I'm sure this is probably what they do, is they just made a fresh one and stuck it in the fridge. So it's just not fresh. But it is cold, which, you know, I hate to repeat myself so much, but it's very hot today. It's nice to have a cold snack. Oh yeah, so I just popped in there to grab a cup of water, like I said. Hop into any of the counter service restaurants, except the Fantasy Springs ones, and you can get a cup of really cold water. And the water fountain was ice cold, so I stuck my cooling towel in there. Ooh, absolutely what I needed. That is a top tip for sure. A fun little bit of DisneySea trivia for you. This port discovery sign above the little water fountain. In the summer, oh, never mind. I was about to say in the summer the water's cool, and in the winter the water's hot. But the water is very hot, so I guess it's just always hot. But in the winter, the water's hot. I guess the intention was for it to kind of steam, for you to have like a layer of steam there, so it would look cool, but I don't ever remember seeing steam, just it's quite warm. Interesting fact for you. You know, I often say like Port Discovery is by far the worst area of DisneySea and blah, 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 but it can be gorgeous. I mean, look at that view. The fact that that's the ocean. That's the ocean over there. And the way it seamlessly blends into the waterway of the park. Oh, and the fake dam and all the kinetic energy. It is pretty cool. I would be pretty upset if we got rid of it. Excited, but also upset. The thing that lets Port Discovery down is none of this, except maybe Sea Rider, but it's fine, you know, it's fine. The thing that lets Port Discovery down is this. It is these grey, what look like construction walls, especially over here. It's really egregious. It just really seems like one of the few, maybe the only part of the park when it originally opened that was like, oh, we're not quite finished, we don't quite know what to do here, let's just put a wall there. Everything else has some sort of story or thematic, or is just pretty, is just nice to look at. These are a little odd. But maybe we're nitpicking, I don't know. Do you think I'm nitpicking? Do you think I'm being unfair? You can write your thoughts in the comments, of course. You don't need my permission. You can do that anytime you want. Okay then friends, it's showtime. It's time to see Dreams Take Flight. I won't be able to film inside the theater, unfortunately, but I will let you know what I think in half an hour or so. Well, in a few seconds, but for you, but for me, obviously after I've seen the show. Oh man, I haven't been in here since 2019. I haven't been in here for 6 years. I'm so glad that it's back open. Please open Mermaid Lagoon Theatre next, but oh, this is cool going in here. Okay, well, I want to be careful with what I say. It was so nice to be back in there. I'm so glad we have a show in the hangar stage again. Like I said, I haven't been in there since 2019, 6 years ago, since they closed it for COVID. That's the last time there was a show in there. So I'm very glad we have a show in there. That's a very good thing. The other thing is the performers are absolutely top-notch. They're all giving it their all. The dancers are fantastic. Their faces, they're wonderful. Their energy and everything and their presence is so fun to be around. And it's just infectious. There's parts where the dancers come a little bit closer to you in the aisles, and as soon as you make eye contact with them, you can't not smile. They are the magic of the show. But I think there was one very poor decision that's been made somewhere down the line that isn't doing those performers justice, and that is that they've given them all fake microphones. Except for one, I think. And this is where it gets really weird, because the curtains opened up, and all these performers come on stage and they have these, these face mics, the other wireless mics attached to their faces. And this girl starts singing, and you immediately can just tell. You can immediately tell. And it's nothing against her. I'm not saying her lip syncing was bad or anything like that. You can just tell. You can just tell that that's not her voice and she's not singing, right? And then it continues and continues in that way. But then in the next scene, there's a guy who's playing the guitar, and he was playing the guitar. It was overdubbed with a more complex guitar part, but he was playing the guitar, and you could hear the guitar. And I think we could hear his voice. And it's sad that I only can say I think he was singing, because everyone else at every other part of the show was miming with a fake microphone. So it makes you question it, right? Like, well, why would he be singing then? Maybe he wasn't. But I really think he was. I really think he was singing that part. A big point is that he was singing in Japanese, and they were all Japanese performers, apart from some of the character ones, but they didn't even have them mic'd up. I don't think they do that to the princesses. I'm not sure. That might not be true, but I'm not sure if they do that. The story of the show was also all over the place, which is fine. It's a theme park show with a bunch of different movie characters all thrown together. That's fine, I can get over that. But just none of the sequences really jumped out and wowed me or really did anything. There was one where the lights went out and they were all wearing light up suits that were lighting up at different parts of the music, and I was like, oh, this is gonna get cool, because there's some really fun choreography that you can do. You can do all sorts of stuff with that, where you get everyone standing in a row and you light them up one at a time, and it looks like people are moving through space, like teleporting, and it's like live animation, all this stuff. And they just didn't get that creative with it. It was just kind of flashing while they were dancing. There was a Hakuna Matata segment, which I found very strange, because we have a much better Hakuna Matata segment in, I want to say Club Mousebeat. It's not Club Mousebeat. In the other one, in Mickey's Magic Music World over at Tokyo Disneyland. Another thing that was done live was they were banging on trash cans. That sounds condescending. It's not. That's real. They were playing percussion. They were hitting things in time to the music. Again, it was layered up with sounds that weren't being played live, but that was a live musical performance. We have to, we have to give credit where it's due, and we have to take what we can get. And there's just little nitpick things I have. Like, Pete is in it, which is super cool, because Pete hasn't really been around here. He was in the Donald event at Disneyland in the spring this year and last year, but that's it. So it's cool to see him on stage. But then towards the end of the show, he just turns to Mickey and he's like, "Oh, Mickey, good job. I like you now because you worked hard." It's like, that's the whole moral of the whole story. Honestly, it felt like something they'd put together for the cast members, because the whole moral of the show was, if you work hard, then your boss will like you. And isn't that great? And you'll get to see other people fulfill their dreams, but you get to see them, you get to be nearby, and you get to watch them, because the finale of the show is Minnie. Minnie sings a song with these 4 dancers who, again, are lip syncing, trying their best, doing a great job, but yeah, it's a shame that they're lip syncing. But there's 4 of these women who are singing about, like, oh, I want to soar, I want to follow my dreams and fly. And 3 of them have their own little breakout moment, which I think might have been live mic'd again, I'm not sure, because, but there was a little moment where they were coming out and they would say something in Japanese, like, I want to follow my dreams or whatever. And 3 of them came out, and then the 4th one, I was like, okay, it's your turn now. And she just goes to the back, the poor woman. Why doesn't she get a dream? And then it was even further strangened, that's not a word, but I'm going to say it anyway, by the fact that the finale of the show is those 4 women who are like, I'm going to fly. They're all like, okay, Minnie, you get in the plane, nice job. And Minnie gets in the plane and she flies. And I was thinking, like, they've put together this plane prop. That's been the whole story. They're building this plane and they've put it together in front of us. And the propeller starts spinning and Minnie's inside and the back is a projection of the sky. And I'm thinking, okay, come on, this is your chance. If that plane, even if it just goes up quite high on the stage, that'll be a big win. Or if it goes over the crowd, that would be huge. And it just kind of moves forwards a bit. There's lots of smoke on the stage and it looks kind of cloudy. Other people seem to really enjoy it, so maybe I'm being too nitpicky. Like I said, some big things are, we have a show in there now. That's a wonderful thing. The performers are fantastic. And as weird as it was, it's pretty cool that the thing was set in a hangar. This is the hangar stage. You can see right next to me here, there's an airplane. Like, it was sort of thematic. I don't know why these princesses were jumping in from all over the place. I thought the point was going to be that the plane was going to go to where all these people are, but it was like the performers were channeling the spirit of the Disney characters. It was like they'd seen those movies and they were like imagining, oh, imagine what Moana would do. She would try her best, so I'm going to try my best. It was like that. It was like they weren't really there, which is a little strange. But like I say, big takeaway is the performers are fantastic and I'm very glad we have a new show. Will I be paying 2,500 yen DPA to see it again anytime soon? Probably not. It felt like slap bang in between Club Mouse Beat, which is pretty cheap, but it is a lot of fun, and Mickey's Magical Music World, which is pretty good. Again, there's no live music there, but the sets and everything, and there's some great special effects, and the theater is just really impressive. This was like right in between those two. So if you're coming here and you want to see a good show, see Mickey's Magic Music World. And to be honest, you can probably skip the rest, unless you're massively into this stuff, in which case you're gonna go watch all of it anyway, aren't you? Ooh, a rare look at Aquatopia with no water in it. Kind of ironic that right now it's supposed to be the get wet version for the summer, which is supposed to be more wet than usual, and it's broken down and it is less wet than usual. So you can see that they do this if they have to evacuate the ride. The water is very, very shallow anyway, so they just drain it. They just drain the water and people can just easily walk out of the varied vehicles and get out of the ride. I imagine that they have to make a lot of checks to make sure the ride vehicles aren't going to suddenly move on their own, but yeah, that's for much cleverer people than me to figure out. You see the whirlpool over there, isn't that interesting? It's just a big hole full of water with a motor that spins around in it. So the other new show I talked about, the one that I'm not seeing today, is Wet Jamboree Mickey. Essentially, it's like the old Jamboree Mickey show, but they spray water everywhere. They've built this little stage bit out, and when the show is on, they completely block off this entire bridge because they want to have people filling up this whole area. And I just can't help but think, like, you have the harbor. The harbor has enough space for all these people. Why are we squeezing them all in here? To me, it screams they wanted to, like, one person had the idea, oh, let's do Wet Jamboree Mickey. The Jamboree Mickey show was already here. It was just a little dance show. It's really, really popular. So, oh, let's do a wet version for the summer. That's a great idea. And it's just like morphed and evolved into, oh, what if that's like the show that everyone wants to see? I was like, well, if it's the show that everyone wants to see, let's put it in the giant space in the middle of the park that everybody can see. Oh well. It's good that we're doing stuff, I guess. Oh, I haven't been over here yet today. American waterfront's really good. This park is ridiculous. Honestly, it's kind of annoying they built Fantasy Springs here. Like, if they built it as part of Disneyland, not only would it fit geographically more with the park, so it wouldn't be so far to go out of your way to get to it all of the time, because it's a lot closer to that park than it is to this park, but also, like, it wouldn't take time out of my DisneySea day. I just want to be at DisneySea. We did need a load of rides, though. We did need a bunch of family-friendly rides that can soak up some of those crowds, because like today's not that busy, right? But Soaring and Journey and Tower of Terror have all been like between an hour and an hour and a half all day. And that's with Fantasy Springs drawing people out of those areas, you know? We really did need more rides, and kind of still do. I hesitate to say because, you know, I don't want to add more mess to this place, but DisneySea is wonderful and great as it is, but also you know, when all of the rides are really good rides that everyone wants to do and they all get massive queues, we just need some more high capacity rides. We do. I was thinking when I was in the queue for Tinkerbell that why wasn't it an Omnimover? Why didn't they just make it a constantly moving Omnimover? Then it would always be 5 minutes. Like what, they needed it to be this much nicer ride technology for the integrity of the experience? Like no! Have it be a slow-moving experience that you turn through. Have it be a little Omnimover. Why not? It would have gobbled up the crowds. Everybody could have ridden it. Maybe they don't want everyone to ride that thing. It's like 6 p.m. now. Oh, it's not. It's 10 to 7. It's nearly 7. It's nearly 7, and it's so funny. I've lived here for 6 years. I have absolutely no intention of leaving anytime soon at all. I can come here anytime I want. But I still get that end of holiday feeling in my chest towards the end of the day. I'm still like, no, I don't want to leave. Like, I mean, to be fair, we don't have annual passes, so I can come anytime technically, but also, like, I can't, because I can't just come every day, because I would go bankrupt, and I would have to live on the streets. Can I live on the streets and just come here? Anyway, I still get that sad feeling. I love it here so much. Still, and don't mistake any of my gripes or any of my whinging or complaining about anything for anything other than love. I love this place so much. Okay, one other big point against a summer trip. This park is absolutely beautiful in the daytime. It's beautiful with all the blue skies. It's been lovely today. I've loved being here today. It's even better at night. It looks stunning at nighttime. Not to mention that there's Believe Sea of Dreams, the huge nighttime show on the harbour. And in the summer, the park closes at 9, just like the rest of the year. The park always opens 9 a.m., closes 9 p.m. But just because the sun sets so much later, you get so little nighttime during the summer. So if you're spending 1 day here, or even 2 days, and it's during the summer, you're not going to get to see the park at its most beautiful for very long at all. A little tip I do have, which is a bit, I don't know, sneaky, I was going to say, but it's not really. If you happen to end the day towards the back of the park, towards Fantasy Springs, when they close the park, you can very slowly walk all the way through most of the park. You can't just walk wherever you want. There's a very strict path. It's actually right where I'm standing. It goes from Fantasy Springs, through Mermaid Lagoon, through Mysterious Island, and out to Mediterranean Harbour. But you can see that entire side of the park at nighttime. You can walk very slowly. You can take photos. Maybe if you're someone like me, you're going to take some videos. They do want you to get out, but they're not screaming at you to get out immediately. So I just did Peter Pan a couple of times because it's a 10-minute wait and it's really, really good, so why not? I think that's going to end up being the ride I do the most here, you know, because you can do it on a busy day and you still want to do it on the quiet days anyway. It's not like you're just doing it for the sake of it. But also, I can do it multiple times in a day. Like Sinbad, I adore it, but I basically do it once and then I'm done. Whereas Peter Pan, I can like get off it and if it's a 10-minute wait, be like, oh, let's do it again. I guess because it fluctuates as well, it like feels like Sinbad's always 5 minutes, 10 maybe. So you don't get off and you're like, oh, it's only 5. Oh, it's only 5, so I have to do it immediately. Like, no, it's always 5. It's fine, it's not a big deal. Whereas Pan is like, oh, it's the end of the day, it's only 10 minutes, let's just go around on it again. I'm now gonna use my priority pass. I don't know if I need to, I have a feeling I'm gonna end up waiting the same whether I use it or not. But I have one, so I may as well use it. For Indiana Jones. And then Journey is down to 40 minutes right now. I'd have to walk that way out anyway, so I'm hoping I can hit this and then do Journey. Start the day with Journey and end the day with Journey as well. It's a very good ride, I don't mind that. Soaring's also down to 40, which is tempting. I wouldn't mind getting on Tower of Terror, but it's always hard when it's not the spring version, because the spring version's so much better. Whenever I do it any other time of year, it's like, oh, is that it? But it is nice just being in there. Anyway, I'm happy to be getting on Indiana Jones before it closes for so long. It is such a testament to Tokyo Disney's maintenance that ride is about to go down for probably around a year for maintenance. And you would think, oh, it must be in terrible state if it needs all of that. It looks fantastic. Everything worked so well. The whirlwind was looking absolutely incredible today. Just the only tiny little gripe I have is the projectors are pretty outdated. I hope they update the projectors. But it's crazy how good it looks. I suspect they'll change out the projectors and probably replace all the lighting. That's what they did with Sinbad. And, you know, I don't know what's going on under the hood. It probably does need a lot of work. But it rides great and it looks amazing. It's so crazy that I hear horror stories, you know, about the American parks just running things in such poor condition, and we're like, oh, this looks fantastic, it looks like brand new, let's close it for a year to shine it up, you know, give it some shine. But you know, that's such a good example of how it's not always the best thing. Some people say, oh, Tokyo Disney's maintenance is fantastic, it's such a good thing, the American park should do that. Maybe it's a little bit too good. Maybe we close things too much. I don't know, but it's nice that the rides look so good when you ride them, I can tell you that for sure. Although I am pretty happy about Journey breaking down this morning because we just got straight onto that thing. Having said that, I think I'm gonna end the day the way we started it and ride Journey to the Center of the Earth. I love ending the day on that thing. It's got a 30-minute wait right now. That means it'll be the last ride of the day, but I mean, I'm okay with that. Let's go. Oh, we got lucky there. The waiting time had gone blank, so I thought, oh no, they've closed it already. But then the cast members were like, it's okay, you can still join the queue. So I think we just made that one. Whew. I'm happy with my choice. I was thinking, should I go to Tower of Terror? But that would have meant going through all the crowds, watching Believe. So I'm happy with this choice. This is a much better ride anyway. So that's what you can expect to get done if you come on a summer day. To summarize, it's gonna be hot. Take care of yourself, drink lots of water, take lots of breaks, wear a hat, get a cooling towel or a fan, or both if you're like me. Number 2, the crowds are pretty low. Not super dead, but you can get a lot done in a day like I did today. You're not gonna get on everything, but you can have a pretty good day if you come in the summer. Number 3, check the ride closures. Whenever you're planning to come, it doesn't matter what time of year it is, check the ride closures, but especially if you're coming at a time with low crowds, because they tend to close a lot of the bigger rides around those times. And the payoff for the summer is that you don't get so much time to enjoy the park at night time when it is incredibly beautiful. So just keep that in mind if that's something that you might care about. If you want personalized tips for trip planning, please do check out the Patreon, or if you just want to support the channel, you can subscribe, leave a comment, all of the good stuff, and watch this video next, or this one, or that one, or this one, or that one. Thank you so much.